Death is a surprise party. Unless, of course, you're already dead on the inside.
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for Is This Meets That podcast. We watch the worst movies from trailer and credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to. But maybe you should. I'm Russ.
Dead on the inside.
Dead on the inside, Jared.
That's right.
I think we're both a little dead on the inside today, huh?
Yeah.
We played a game last night, and we made the wrong choices.
That's right.
Yes, both of us separately.
Separately, but equally
made poor choices. Uh-huh. Okay, and we're back here. We're back with our full breakdown of Saw Trace. That's 3.
Yep. Kira, this one's for you.
This one's for you. Please enjoy. Please like. 2006 Saw 3.
Good year.
Great year.
I saw it in theaters.
So I guess, well, why don't you give a recap what this one's about, and then we'll
Yep.
We'll do
I forgot how much I love the log line.
Yeah.
So Jigsaw abducts a doctor in order to keep himself alive while he watches his new apprentice put an unlucky citizen named Jeff through a brutal test.
Which, when you reading that before seeing it, you're like, that's pretty stupid. But then you watch it, like, that's what happens.
Oh. Yeah, it's still pretty stupid. Unlucky citizen indeed.
Unlucky citizen indeed. Man, really trying to really separate the twist there. You know, keep the separate. Oh my goodness. So yeah, how'd we do?
What did you say was going to happen? Because I don't think I did anything. I don't think I contributed because I've seen this movie several times now.
No, you did. It was we had what was it? Amanda Seyfried? No, not Seyfried. What was it?
Oh, Amanda Bynes.
Amanda Bynes.
That's right. We made it into a Nickelodeon thing.
Yeah, it's an ITMT favorite, Amanda Bynes.
Yeah, Dancing Lobsters and
she was the apprentice, and she was going to basically she was killing off all the co-stars so she could take over and have her own show.
That's right. Which
not
spot on.
If only Amanda Bynes played Amanda, we would have been good. So
2006, she probably would have been a little young to be Amanda, but
yeah, you're never too young to Jigsaw, I guess.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
Famous expression.
I'm gonna throw it out there. This movie, I'm gonna put it. It's not the worst movie we've done.
No, definitely not.
I would throw it out there.
It was in theaters.
True. Not the worst movie we've done. I'm going to put it in the category of kind of like awesomely bad. It was kind of goofy. It's goofy.
Yeah, it's goofy, but also there's like nothing fun about it.
But compared to like the first one, like the first one's good. Like that's a good horror movie, right? Like it's a good, and if you comparing it to that one, and like there was like a lot of choices in this one. So we should comment that we watched there's 3 versions of this movie, which
that's right.
Let's not Zack Snyder this. Let's all settle down.
Didn't know.
So thank God. I think Jared and I both watched the unrated version. So there's a theatrical cut. There's an unrated version, which is 6 minutes of additional horror content, and then there's the director's cut, which has got like 21 extra minutes of what? Yeah, apparently the ending is even longer for the director's cut, which that does not need to be longer.
No, it's already way too long.
Yeah, come on. These horror movies need to be like an hour and a half, hour 40 max. Let's get moving here. Let's get moving.
Before I decided to watch the movie this morning, I was like, "Oh, please be an hour and a half. Please be an hour and a half." And I completely forgot that it's almost 2 hours. It's so long.
Yeah. So, but I'd put it in the category of almost kind of like awesomely bad. I don't know. Like it was.
I don't think so, dude. I mean, again, I've seen this movie several times now, and I used to really like that kind of like torture porn movie. Like that, I feel like high school me when this came out was like that was like the thing. We're like, like let's watch the most extreme horror movies possible.
Right. But looking
and
back,
like this one, not that extreme. Like I think we ended up having to I think we did seek out the unrated version because we were like, oh, that wasn't that scary.
But the thing too is like everyone keeps saying like this, there's no creativity to this one, and it's just kind of like they up the gore and that's it. And I was like, did they?
What gore? Yeah.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe I'm so desensitized to this stuff that it doesn't matter anymore. But
I think that's part of it. And I think you didn't see Saw 2, right?
I did not. I did not.
So like Saw, I mean, the original Saw, not super gory.
No,
really.
It's true. No, it's true.
And Saw 2 really isn't that gory either. So I feel like compared to those two, like, sure. I guess
they upped it. Okay. That's fair. That's reasonable.
But to what comes after,
who knows?
Uncharted territory.
We'll be there. So you haven't seen, but you have. So I haven't seen. I've only seen the first one, and a very long time ago. So in which I barely remember, and I was reminded how much I forgot about it, and so
yep.
But you stopped after 3, right?
I think so. There's a chance I saw 4, but I don't remember. I didn't look it up. I didn't want to know.
Yeah. Okay. So whatever.
You're right though. It's like not the worst thing. Like, don't watch it, but if you have to, you could do worse things.
I mean, at least it's got like a little bit of a, it's about grief. It's about letting go, right? It's got a little bit of a
sure.
Very
generous of you. Not about Donnie Wahlberg, so.
No. I do have a lot of nitpicks about certain decisions. Anyways, we'll get there. Let's do quick info.
Yep.
All right. So this was directed by Darren Lynn Bousman.
I hate this guy. Whoever he is.
So he started with like a couple of movies early on. He did a short and he did some movie called Identity Lost, which nothing 2001, and comes out hot with 2005 Saw 2.
Yep, that makes sense.
So that puts him on the map. And then, of course, his biggest hit, Mudvayne's Forget to Remember music video, which...
what a legendary music video.
I know, right? Like, I mean, if you remember, it's up there with the greats, It's
Thriller, Mudvayne, Forget to Remember.
Yeah. I think Forget to Remember is one of those things someone says and like, oh, that's like, that sounds cool, but it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Oh, that's a cool band name. And you're like, no, it's not.
No, it's not. Go back to the name generator. Mm-hmm. So he did Saw 2, Saw 3, and he directed Saw 4. So
back to back years.
And these were like the ones that were like kind of declining in terms of like overall quality. It seems like 3 and 4 are like beep beep beep.
Yeah.
But
he put the Genetic Opera in there. That's
don't know what that
kind of funny.
Short, but he did the movie. Yeah. And then a couple other. It seems like he just did some, random like.
I've never seen any of these.
No, and then he did Spiral. They brought him back in 2021 for Spiral.
Which is generally regarded as the worst one, isn't it?
Yes. So they literally pull him back to do like the worst Saw movies, or he's making the worst Saw movies, but they keep bringing him back because I think they keep making money. That's the problem, because like once you're in, right?
That'll get you. Yeah.
Once you're playing the game, everyone's playing the game.
Is Tales of Halloween related? Is like one of the Halloween movies? Is it in that saga, or is it completely unrelated?
Don't know. I'm going to say it's completely unrelated.
It's like an anthology in a movie.
Huh. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's who directed this. Screenwriters, Leigh Whannell.
Okay.
He's back. This is his jam. So he's a actor / writer / producer, as everyone is in Hollywood. I mean, we are too. We are actors, writers, directors, producers, podcasters, digital creators. Yeah, digital creators. Bathwater sellers.
EGOTs.
Yeah.
So he gin makers.
So he started this whole thing. This whole thing. It's him and James Wan, right?
That makes sense.
He wrote the short because Saw originally started as a short, and then they made the feature length movie Saw, and then I didn't know there was like this animated comic book in between.
What?
It's called Saw Rebirth. Yeah.
Oh boy.
He didn't do this. He didn't write it, but it's just characters that he created.
Okay.
And of course, he did Saw 2. He did Saw 3. Saw the video game, and then he's also involved in like the Insidious series, which apparently is good, or maybe it's not, but it's just making money because whatever.
I've heard good things. Wait, and then he got cut out of the Saw franchise?
I think he's still. I think he just probably isn't working on it.
Stop getting credit for it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know,
because there's no more Saws here after Saw 3 or 4, right? 3.
Yeah, well, he's got Saw the video game 2009, and after that, he probably just like he's just like, oh, whatever.
Sure. And then an unauthorized fan film,
which is kind of weird. He did the movie Upgrade, which apparently is really good. It's like a good, action cyberpunky kind of movie, which is I think on Netflix now, which I need to check out. But I've heard it's like actually really good. So
that's fun. Oh, he did the 2020 Invisible Man. That was pretty good.
So, oh yeah, that one was good. So I think he helped me another fan film from the Book of Saw. What's going on with this creator? Oh,
So
he's just getting creator credits for this stuff. He's not involved.
Gotcha.
But I think I read somewhere that him and James Wan, they kind of just shifted over to the Insidious series, because look, he's got Insidious: The Last Key, Insidious: The Red Door, Insidious: The Last Key alternate ending. Like he's got all this Insidious stuff. Chapter 3.
Yeah. So then who wrote Saw 4 through 10?
Well, we'll get there, my friend. We'll get there.
Oh.
Just not this episode.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Can't spill.
Sorry,
all
I don't want
the
to spoil myself. Yeah.
So, he's also in this movie too. He's an actor in.
Oh, he is?
All three. Yeah, he's in here. So we'll get to it.
As what? Oh, okay.
I think we'll get
jumping
to it.
ahead.
So yeah, and then James Wan, he just story by. That's I think it's all he gets credit for. So
makes sense.
Who is
not quite enemy of the pod yet?
Not quite. We'll see.
Yeah, they'll get there.
Yeah, James Wan, known for Aquaman and Saw.
Yeah, you're on the list, James Wan.
we're keeping an eye on you. We're watching your career closely. So who's in this movie? So we got Tobin Bell, the Jigsaw.
Yeah, who's like a knockoff Christopher Walken without any of the good acting or interesting affectation on his voice. Right?
I mean, but everyone knows his voice when, he says you want to play a game, right? So
that's true.
Shawnee Smith plays Amanda, the apprentice.
She's in stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like I think I recognized her from something.
She's also has like a band apparently, and
cool.
lead singer for some band. She was in The Blob. She's obviously in a bunch of Saws because they do this bouncing back forth timeline stuff for the rest of the movies. So 3, 2, 6.
Apparently she was in the original Blob.
Not the original Blob.
Oh, okay.
The original Blob is pretty old, isn't it? Law and Order, because everyone's got a crush on a Law and Order episode, and like we've said before, we're in an episode of Law and Order.
Of course.
Yeah, Saw 6. So she's hanging on to this Saw stuff is helping her, but
Grudge, yeah.
So a bunch of TV episodes, Becker, 129 episodes. Yeah.
Huh.
Kim Possible.
Oh, that's what I know her from. Is
Grand
Becker.
Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Nope. But that makes sense too.
Becker,
she did it. Yeah, she's like the secretary for Ted Danson.
I've never seen it.
You never seen Becker? Oh, it's a fun sitcom. If you like Ted Danson, who doesn't like Ted Danson?
She was the redhead in Armageddon. If that helps.
Okay. Now Becker's it.
She's been crushing it. She's been around for Silver Spoons. One episode of Silver Spoons. Child actor. She has just been in. Wow, Cagney and Lacey.
She was a child in The Blob. That's yes.
You were saying. Oh yeah, you're right. The original Blob. I think you're right. Yeah, 1988. Yeah. Okay.
Fascinating.
Wow. The things you see when you go on the internet. Iron Eagle? Are you kidding me? Wow.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, okay. She's crushing. X-Files episode of that. Murder, She Wrote, one episode of that. Jesus.
I love Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Okay.
What a world.
And then she's just crushing with Saw series. Okay, cool.
Huh. Still working?
Still working.
Looks like it.
Bloodline Killer 2024. Saw X came out last year. City on Fire, 4 episodes. Yeah, so she's...
Good for her.
Yeah, absolutely. We're big fans. Angus Macfadyen plays Jeff, the unlucky citizen.
God, he's the worst.
He really is.
He's not in anything, right?
I hope not. But of course, he was in Braveheart. Oh my God,
he's in a million things. He's in 87 things.
Oh, he was Robert the Bruce in Braveheart. What?
Oh my God, it's a nightmare.
We bought a zoo. Oh no.
He's in so many things.
That's what he's. Oh my God! I was like, I looked at him. I was like, he looks like he's in something
like
familiar. But
knock off Mark Ruffalo. This movie has like a bunch of knockoff people.
I love that he was also in a movie called Robert the Bruce, where he played Robert the Bruce in 2019. What?
No one saw that.
Why would that be a thing that happened?
Incredible.
Wow. Yep. Okay. He comes back for Saw 4, so we're gonna have to deal with him again. Oof.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
he's got to find his daughter.
Oh, that's right. Oh, duh.
Spoilers.
Jeez. Oh my God. So yeah. There you go.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's great. What a world.
Yeah. Who else do we got in this? So he plays Jeff. We got Bahar Soomekh.
Yep. That's right.
Is Lynn. She has been in, I don't know.
She was unfamiliar to me.
Oh, Mission Impossible 3, Davian's Translator.
I never saw it.
That's a good one. That's when they raided the ship after the second one. She's in Saw 4. Everyone comes back for Saw 4. Apparently, probably in flashbacks. Which flashbacks? Really? Are we serious with this?
Oh my God. It's the whole plot of Saw. It's all flashbacks.
Stop. Just like, we don't need these. We don't need these. Cut them out.
Yep.
But yeah, so she's been in stuff. And moving along, we got, had to give shout out to Donnie Wahlberg. He's in this, obviously. Eric Matthews, Detective Eric Matthews.
We got an extra like 2 or 3 minutes of Donnie Wahlberg, I guess, compared to the people who watched the theatrical cut. But
you all lost out. You all lost out. That's all I'm saying.
How lucky are we?
Yeah. Dina Meyer plays Carrie, and Kim Roberts plays Deborah.
Oh, that's fun. Who's Deborah?
I don't know. Just some lady. So then Leigh Whannell plays Adam. I don't remember who Adam was.
Adam. He was in 2 or 1.
No,
one of the mixed victim guys, right?
Oh, probably. I don't know, but he's in this one and plays Adam. Oh no, he's the guy. Oh, he's the guy who's in the bathroom, in the bathtub.
In the plastic bag.
Yeah.
Later in the plastic bag. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So that's fun. Yeah. Okay. Numbers. You want some numbers here?
Sure. Yeah. Give me some numbers.
Are you ready for this? Oh, this is gonna
I am actually. I did the math this time.
Oh, this is gonna hurt my head. Worldwide, this movie made $163,876,815.
Yeah, which is 51,975 fanatics.
It's been that's so many.
That's so many fanatics.
Is this the highest grossing movie we've done?
Probably it must be.
It must be.
Would Love Actually do? That was probably like 80 million or something.
Yeah, that probably did pretty well. But
yeah, but that's not fair.
Yeah, that's not fair. No. Domestic.
Oh my God. Love Actually box office is like $250 million.
What?
Yeah, it's outrageous. Anyway,
everyone should go listen to that episode. Everyone should go listen to that episode that we did, because they need to understand that movie is not good.
That movie sucks.
And if you like that movie, you're wrong. Period.
That's right.
It basically split domestic, international, 80 and 83 million. Video did another $47,481,593. If you want the exact amount.
Amazing.
There. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I did.
On a budget of, and this is I think at the time, the highest for the Saw movies. You ready for this budget?
Yeah.
$10 million.
That's so good. So much money, so much profit.
Like, are you kidding me?
Incredible.
Horror movies are the
this
best.
Is what we need to do.
Yeah. And the first one was done for like 3 million or 4 million, which is crazy.
So good. And that probably made $100 million, right?
Yeah. And
I'm assuming.
I get into I think I have this in Fast Facts, but basically, I don't know what the rest of the movies, but like these first 3 movies, they basically just shot in a giant warehouse in Toronto. Call it a day.
That sounds right.
Like
shout out to Toronto, friend of the pod.
Love Toronto. Thank you so much for existing.
That's right.
But yeah, $10 million. Wow. Here's $10 million. Go make a mediocre movie, and I'll return it with 164 or 200 million video sales too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we're like blown away at like, wow, how cheap and how much money it made, but also what did they spend $10 million on? Like, there's no way this movie should have cost that much money.
No way. Like the trap setup, like the effects, like
maybe
what? Certainly
like, go
not
to the scrapyard.
Certainly not on the director. Like, what are you doing?
No, no. Yeah, Donnie Wahlberg, I guess. He's like, I don't show up for less than $5 million. And they're like, fuck, that's half the budget.
Donnie Wahlberg commands of $5 million.
Can you imagine?
What world were we living in? What alternate universe are we living in? Oh, Jesus. That's good. That's good stuff right there. So yeah, this is what they call in the business a success.
Yeah. Wild success.
Oh,
Avatar
God.
level of success.
Yeah, and wait till I get into the fast facts about how quickly this was greenlit too. So, and then Rotten Tomatoes, it sits at 29%, just a 1 point under our limit, and then 71% on the fans. So the fans came back and they like this one. So
that sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right, Kiro.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, so 71%.
Yeah. How embarrassing.
There you go. There you go. Okay. You want some fast facts? Because I got a lot of them.
Back me, daddy.
Oh boy, here we go. So speaking of money and greenlits and green lights and all that sort of stuff, Saw 3 was greenlit less than a week after the release of Saw 2.
That sounds right. Like, you boys got more ideas? They're like, yeah, we can make it up.
Sure.
Sure.
Based on that movie's strong opening weekend. So
I like how, and like this movie starts when they're like, wasn't Jigsaw on his deathbed last time we saw him? And you're like, yeah, we'll just retcon it for this one. It's fine. Like, he's not really dying yet.
This is a fun one, and this is how you again, how do you spend $10 million when you have this moment right here? The producers of this film. Oh, go ahead.
The other thing, so if they got greenlit a week after Saw 2 came out, that means they shot this in probably like a couple weeks.
Oh, I'll get there.
There's like a year in between.
I'll get there. I'll get there.
Oh my God. I'm trying to do the math in my head here.
You're not wrong. I think we've done enough of these now. We know. So, the producers of this film asked the producers. This one's awesome. The producers of this film asked the producers of Scary Movie 4, which came out in 2006. Scary Movie 4. Remember that franchise? Yeah. If they could use their bathroom set for this film, as it was an exact replica of the sets used in Saw and Saw 2, and they were given permission to use it.
I hope for free. I bet for free.
I mean, that's just genius thinking right there. Someone's like, wait, remember in Scary Movie 4, they just redid this scene? Let's reuse that.
I take it back, Darren. You're a genius.
Absolute genius.
That's how you make $168 million.
Right? That's called being resourceful right there, my friend. Oh my God. As with the previous two films, only the actors who appeared in the final scene were given the complete script.
Like, guys, this is super important, super secret.
Yeah, this isn't Star
You'll
Wars.
Never guess.
This isn't Star Wars. Let's settle down here. Like they're like Tarantino, like red page, like script things, so you know if they got leaked. All watermarked.
That sounds right.
This is the MPAA. I'm not sure if friends or enemies of the pod, but
super enemies.
Super enemies. The film's most graphic scene, Jigsaw's brain surgery scene, remained completely uncut by the MPAA. The filmmakers argued that it was no different from what people would see in any medical documentary on TV.
The Eminem defense. No, they've seen worse.
And the worst part of the MPAA was like, you know what? Yeah, that checks out. What?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's for science.
So there's a character in the movie, Detective Hoffman, who I have big gripes with this whole thing in the opening of this movie, but Detective Hoffman, who we see, and it's just annoying. Detective Hoffman, who shows up very briefly in the opening of the movie, played by Costas Mandylor. Mandylor?
Cool name.
Yeah, it's a great name. Costas Mandylor. That can't be his real name, right?
No.
No, the face and the name don't match.
Yeah.
But so Detective Hoffman is named as a tribute to the first two films' late producer Greg Hoffman, who passed away, I think, just before this movie came out. Yeah. So
what happened to Greg?
He died.
Got sawed in half or something.
Yeah, probably. In a weird case of irony. Amanda, played by Shawnee Smith, was not originally supposed to grab Lynn, Bahar Soomekh's character, by the throat and threaten her in the sick room, as can be seen by her surprised facial expressions in the moments after. The line where Lynn says, "You freak," was not written in the script. Bahar added it in after Shawnee unexpectedly threw her against the wall. That's just called method acting.
So they were
right
just
there.
mad at each other.
Yeah, I mean, they were actually just pissed off at each other
that's
in
funny.
that scene. So that's more of like that's a whatever.
Nice, I like that.
This is fun and fast. The pig carcasses for the pig vat trap.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, this is a good one. Were made out of foam, rubber, and latex. However, the pig props were filled with real, live, disinfected maggots.
Why?
And Tobin Bell said that out of all the traps in the series, this trap was his favorite. Now, granted, that's up until 3. We've got, he said this before. So
Tobin Bell's a sick fuck.
Yeah.
Who played the judge? Like, before that guy.
I know, right? Yikes, gross.
Brutal.
Like Saw and Saw 2, 2004, 2005, this film was shot entirely within one large warehouse complex in Toronto. Toronto, coming through with the large warehouse complex. Love it. Mm-hmm. Still, where did you spend the $10 million on, though? 1,000 special posters. This is a nice fact. 1,000 special posters were sold for $20 each in support of this film and the American Red Cross. Tobin Bell donated 2 vials of his own blood to be dumped into the red ink vat. All 1,000 posters were then printed with the red ink vat and later sold. However, the first print was put up for auction. It was also signed by the entire cast and crew. All proceeds from both sales went to the American Red Cross.
What?
How does that make you feel? Yeah, they were doing
weird. Why?
It's a Saw charity event, basically.
So silly. So silly. I mean, good. Like, we support donating blood. Go donate blood.
Yeah, go do it and vote.
Yeah, and vote. That's right. Don't vote for Tobin Bell. That guy's a weirdo.
According to producer Daniel J. Hefner, the film was sent to the MPA ratings board 7 times before obtaining the R rating, receiving the NC-17 rating
3 cuts.
every previous time. So,
okay, NC-17's not that bad. You can put that in the theater.
By the way, if you put out a Saw movie that's rated NC-17, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Hello, $200 million.
Yeah, like people are like, lined up for it. Just do it. Rated R, you have to be 18. NC-17, you have to be 17, right?
Oh no, R17 also. That's why I don't understand like why bother having NC-17.
Stop being stupid. Stop being ridiculous.
Yeah. Get your shit together.
This movie was shot over a period of, so I got 2 different numbers here. I got 32 days, and I've also seen 28 days. Whatever. That's basically a month. So this movie was shot over in a month in chronological order, which a lot of movies don't do that. You shoot them out of place just for. Totally. But because the whole thing took place in the warehouse, they just.
And it's all flashbacks anyway. There's no order.
Yeah. Yeah.
This entire movie's out of order. Like
this entire movie's out of order.
Yeah. And they didn't actually film it like in chronological order. They just filmed it and then they were like, I guess that works.
And chopped up with a bunch of flashbacks, which
writing one scene at a time, like, okay, no, what happens if this happens? Yeah, all right, film it. And they're like,
I actually think some of that happened because I think I was reading somewhere because I went down the rabbit hole where some stuff was just written kind of on the fly. So
yeah, it shows.
Yeah. Jeff's daughter Corbett, I guess that's his daughter's name, Corbett, was named after Leigh Whannell's girlfriend, Corbett Tuck. Which is that a real name, Corbett Tuck? Are you real?
It is now.
All of the transitions from one scene to another were filmed in real time. For example,
that makes sense.
There's a scene that immediately shifted from a crime scene, which Detective Carrie, Dina Meyer, was attending, to a scene showing Carrie in a bathtub. This is like in the opening of the movie. In order for this to work, Dina Meyer had to quickly go off set, remove her clothes, and get into the bathtub. That's how you shoot a movie in 28 days. Just crank. You just crank. We're like, let's just get this done.
Yeah, you just have the whole movie set up already in the warehouse, and you just need to crank around. All right,
done. Even though the character is important, the name of Jeff's son is only said once in the film. It's Dylan, in case you were wondering.
I remembered that.
Cameo thing here. Saw 3 screenwriter and Saw franchise co-creator Leigh Whannell appears in the first 3 Saw movies. He's the dude chained up in the bathroom seen in flashbacks in Saw 3.
Yep. That makes sense.
That all tracks. MPA originally gave it an NC-17 rating, which we covered because all the gore. Certain scenes, like the rack twisting limbs one, had to be re-edited and resubmitted as many as 7 separate times before receiving an R rating. So that was probably the scene that was,
It was pretty graphic. That's the when we looked it up. We looked at the difference between the unrated and the theatrical. In that scene, apparently they didn't show his limbs. I'm remembering now seeing the theater, like they just kind of like did it off screen. Oh,
yeah. You just heard like the celery cracking.
Exactly. Yeah.
Rob Zombie.
What?
of Rob Zombie fame. Lent a hand in editing the film. The filmmakers asked Zombie, a friend, to help edit the film to receive a lower rating from MPAA since, Zombie had dealt with similar restrictions on his flicks like House of a Thousand Corpses. House of a Thousand Corpses. It's tough one to say. And Devil's Rejects. He was uncredited.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Sounds like he didn't really do anything.
No, if I had to go back 7 times, like, did he actually help?
Less blood, guys. That all you need to do. Less blood.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. See you later.
Don't
sandwiches?
Yeah, sandwiches. Everybody? Yeah. First in the franchise to feature nudity.
Okay.
So this comes back to script stuff. So original idea was to have Rig, who was the SWAT cop in the opening of the movie, be the main character. However, is that Lyric Bent?
Yep.
What are these names? Who are these people? How do they have these names? These names are cool.
Yeah.
Lyric Bent was unavailable due to filming Angela's Eyes, so he only appears briefly at the beginning. Rig did, however, become the main character in Saw 4, which makes sense because like the opening of this movie, it feels like a completely different movie.
Yeah. Totally.
And yeah, like they introduce all these characters and you're like, oh, okay, these are we're going to follow. And like, no.
Yeah. That's like a Saw. It's very much a Saw mechanic of like every movie is just like more flashbacks, more of the same characters they already introduced for like no reason. And you're like, oh no, the reason is 3 movies later, they're going to make this person.
So like the Detective Hoffman thing, like in the opening, I was like, oh, this is important. He's stealing something from this crime scene. We never see him again until I guess Saw 4 or something. He comes back.
Yeah. And I'm convinced that they definitely didn't write these ahead of time. They were just like, oh, like who was that character that we had in the beginning? Yeah, that guy was cool, right? Yeah, but throw that guy in the next one.
But it's weird because they said, yeah, because like originally there's only supposed to be a trilogy. It was just supposed to be 3 movies because Jigsaw, quote unquote, dies at the end of this one. Spoilers, right?
Right.
So they were only planning to do 3, but then they started doing kind of I guess like they must have just been like, let's just throw these nuggets in. So if we make enough money,
like,
we can make
you
a 4th
made how many millions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do another one.
Yeah, bring back that guy you had him for 2 seconds in the opening movie. Who cares? That's fine.
Yeah. 1,000 years of Saw.
Yes. Go. Oh my God. So this last fast fact, I thought this was funny because when I saw this scene in the movie, I was like, oh, this is just for the fans. This is just basically to shut people up. This is basically what this is. So Leigh Whannell admitted that the scene, Leigh Whannell, the writer there, the scene of Amanda sarcastically telling Dr. Denlin, that's Lynn, to kill her with the axe, right? There's that scene where she turns around and she's like, go ahead, kill me with the axe. Good.
Yeah, that scene sucks.
It's so ridiculous. It's so annoying. Was his way of addressing internet commenters from criticizing the plot. He figured that these were questions they would ask, so he incorporated them into the script. And it shows, Leigh.
Yeah. And like here we are now doing 3 hours of criticizing your plot.
Get ready.
You're welcome. Like that was my biggest gripe with that scene is like, oh, nothing you said actually matters that like she could still escape. For sure. She could definitely try and escape.
Yes. There are options here.
Yeah. Yes. God, it made me so mad.
Oh my goodness.
She's just like, oh, I guess you're right. No. Use your brain. You're a doctor.
Yes, use your brain. Whew, that's it. That's all of that.
Wow. That was a lot.
I know. But I feel good about it, though.
I'm glad you feel good about it. I feel good about it, too.
Do you want to Hollywood pitch me, motherfucker?
I don't know why you're asking. You know I'm going to.
I know.
So
it's a rhetorical question.
As soon as I finished watching this movie, I was like, it's obviously The Crow meets Rat Race.
No brainer.
Yeah. Two excellent films.
Here's 10 million. Go make that movie for me.
Right? So in The Crow, again, amazing movie, The Crow.
Yeah, we're talking Brandon Lee Crow, right? That's right. The new one they're remaking. They're remaking The Crow, by the way.
Not the one that doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
No, the one that's out. So obviously vengeance, right, is the motivation of the whole thing.
Absolutely.
No brainer. Like Eric Draven doing his own death, avenging his own death and his fiance. And then Jeff is trying to, he's got so many people to avenge by the end. Like this whole movie is boringly about vengeance.
The new characters introduced that he has to get vengeance on. You're like, oh, and then it's a lawyer, and then it's this person who's a witness who drove away, and then it's the person who actually did it. And I'm like, then it's that person's mom, and then it's that person's cousin because they're related. I'm like, all right, can we just wrap this up?
Mm-hmm. Then it's his wife, and then it's his other kid, and then it's
vengeance. You get one. You get one. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, we have one ITMT rule. It's one vengeance per person.
That's it. You get one.
Mm-hmm. Both movies are kind of like grimy and like hard to look at. Like I watched it this morning and it's really bright in my living room, and I was like, I can barely see half this movie.
I couldn't hear. I was like cranking the volume because I couldn't hear the voices at all.
Well, he's always whispering and whatever about playing games and stuff.
But so yeah, I feel like it was like, it's like kind of gothic-y, like city, like kind of like bleak cityscape for some parts of it. Like The Crow had that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which was great in The Crow, not in this. They both have villains with like silly nicknames. Like, Jigsaw and Top Dollar.
Top Dollar. Oh
Remember
God.
Top Dollar?
Oh my God, I haven't seen The Crow in so long. Great soundtrack though. The Crow's got an awesome soundtrack for the time.
True. Which leads me into the soundtrack, because the soundtrack in The Crow is great and the soundtrack in this is awful.
Yes. Except for like when the credits rolled, I was like, is this a Helmet song? it's a helmet song. I was like, what?
That's right. But the rest of the movie, the way they scored it is like so jarring. Like it takes you out of the movie immediately.
Yeah, it's like, why are we playing this metal song right now? Please stop. Like, why are we doing this?
It's 2006. That's why.
Right. We got to sell albums too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Also, a lot of like physical abuse on the hero. So Jeff is kind of like for basically no reason because he saves no one.
Yeah.
Everyone that crosses paths with Jeff dies, and he still mutilates himself along the way for like no reason.
He's a dummy.
Like rips his face off. Meanwhile, like because Eric in The Crow is basically invincible, he's just like always like just brushing off injuries left and right, just like Jeff.
I mean, the real hero in this movie is Jigsaw. We know that, right? It's Jigsaw.
Exactly.
He's the hero. Yeah. He's like a really intense. He's like kind of like a really intense therapist. He's just like putting people through these things to like learn the lesson. It's like, okay, he's doing good. I think.
Did you learn forgiveness?
You were so consumed with vengeance. He's not wrong. Like, let go, buddy.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. So meets Rat Race. Great comedy. Yeah. A lot of physical comedy, which I like. Mr. Bean, all that jazz.
Yep. Mr. Bean. I know you're a big Mr. Bean guy.
Yeah. Well, not anymore. That guy's problematic.
Oh no.
Rowan Atkinson, kind of a piece of shit.
No, what did he do?
Oh, he's just all about like complaining about cancel culture. He's one of those people. Oh, you can't make comedy anymore. And you're like, no, you can. Just don't punch down. Like,
yeah, you can still you can still say whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Stop complaining and just do it. So
unfortunately, Rowan Atkinson stinks, but such is life. You don't meet your heroes.
Yeah, I feel like every time we do a new movie, we're like someone we gotta not like anymore.
Yeah, that guy's just kind of a dirtbag.
Right.
Anyways. So in the plot of that movie, if you remember, is basically like a group of strangers race across the country to find hidden treasure.
Yeah.
Kind of like this one where he's like racing across a bunch of deadly traps, which like they also do get into hijinks and Rat Race and like probably should have been deadly if it weren't a comedy.
I mean, the Rat Race is just a Saw movie without the saw, right?
Yep. Because it's all basically like there's like one like puppet master in both movies. You got Jigsaw, you got the billionaire. I can't remember his name in Rat Race.
I don't know, Mr. Billions.
Doing like do all these ridiculous and like crazy obstacles in order to like find your meaning or whatever it is, find your wife, whoever it is, it doesn't matter.
It's really a story about the 1%ers who are running the world, right? And that's pretty much what it's really about.
Basically. Well, because also you have to assume, and that's the thing, you're like, to have this kind of setup for whatever reason, Jigsaw must be, you would think, somewhat loaded.
He's got to be, right? I don't know.
It's the plot of half of the rest of the movie is about like how he can't afford health insurance. So it doesn't make any sense. Ridiculous. And then there's some like moral lessons along the way. Like you learn about, maybe you should forgive the people who have wronged you.
Yeah.
In the Rat Race movie, they're like, the billionaire kind of gets his comeuppance at the end because they're like, oh my god, I have to give you $26 million now. I think it actually in the movie is like $26 million. And you're like, he's a billionaire. That doesn't matter.
That means nothing.
He'll make that tomorrow. Like, so silly. And both movies are like kind of like funny in ways that you're like, oh, what should I have laughed at that?
Yeah, I was laughing quite a bit in this one.
Yeah, it's hysterical. And that's all I got.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's good.
Thanks.
It all checks out.
Yeah. What do you got?
I mean, this is clearly For Love of the Game meets Revenge of the Sith. I mean,
okay,
there's no doubt.
I don't think I've seen For the Love of the Game.
That's a Kevin Costner baseball movie.
That makes sense.
A lot of parallels here. One, I mean, the obvious one, Jigsaw is really just doing this for the love of the game. That's
right. It's literally the plot.
That's pretty much it. So in that movie, Kevin Costner is he's like a end of his career, veteran pitcher playing for the Detroit Tigers. They have no chance of making the playoffs, and they're playing their big enemy, the Yankees.
Sounds like every year. Am I right?
Yeah, right. Sorry, Detroit. And he's going to pitch the perfect game, but he doesn't realize he's pitching a perfect game. He's just zoned into it, and he's throughout the movie. There's a bunch of flashbacks, like this movie.
Oh God!
About him and his wife or girlfriend or whatever, and they ended things on a bad note, and he's realizing how much he loves her. So it's really just him realizing how much he loves this woman. Yeah. Much like Jigsaw, he loves Amanda, in a way, like a kind of father-daughter type of thing, right? Kind of thing, apprentice-y type thing, right?
Yeah.
And he wants her to learn a lesson, and she's not learning it. She's not figuring it out.
She sure doesn't.
She sure doesn't. What else did I say? We got For Love of the Game. He's like end of his career, kind of like Jigsaw. He's kind of at the end of his game here, right?
Yeah. I'm assuming too long of a movie like this one.
Yep, too long of a movie.
Like, can we just make him watch a baseball game? No, put flashbacks in it too.
Yeah, you put flashbacks in there. I was definitely going for the flashback angle on that one because there's a lot of that one. It's a game, obviously, baseball. This whole thing's a game for Jeff.
Kevin Costner probably could have played Jeff. I could see that being a Kevin Costner role, right?
That could be. That would have been a good one.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like wearing a bathrobe around, being angry all the time.
And in that movie, he's trying to pitch a perfect game. This movie, Jigsaw, kind of pitching a perfect game himself here. I mean, he kind of knocks it out of the park with
everybody dies. You're right.
The twist, right? Like he kind of wins at the end. So,
yep. Checks out.
I think there's some other things I had for Love of the Game, but that's all I got right now because I'm forgetting that ones. Maybe it'll come back to me later.
Fair enough.
Meets Revenge of the Sith. I mean, come on, this is just a straight ripoff of Star Wars. Always is. First, we got the vengeance thing. Here we got the revenge in there from the Sith. Two, we got the apprentice master thing going on. I mean, Jigsaw's basically Insidious / Palpatine, right? And
Yep, and also / Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes, all of that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
you killed the younglings.
Yep,
bad on you.
That's another one too. We got dead kids, right? In both those movies. Both end with the apprentice dying. I mean, Anakin dies and becomes Vader. Kind of technically, right?
So metaphorical death. Yeah,
metaphorical death there. Yeah. Let's see. There's no lava. There's a lot of
not enough lava.
Yeah, there should be more lava.
That's my biggest complaint.
Yeah, we need a saw trap with some lava in it. What else do we got here? I think that's it.
Also, Revenge of the Sith famously shot in a warehouse in Toronto.
That's right.
Christian Haydenson's backyard.
That's right. That's right.
End of the pod.
Yeah. Making pizza in Toronto.
He's like, guys, you guys can use my pizza warehouse for Saw. It's cool.
Totally fine. Totally fine. I got this really sweet pizza warehouse in Toronto.
He does.
Of course. Using that Star Wars money for good. So, I think that's it. I think that's all I'm going. I feel like I had more things, but I think that's it.
That's okay. You had enough things.
Yeah, I think it was good.
You're enough.
Thanks, bud. Hey, back at you.
Oh, thanks.
All right, so you ready? We're gonna break it down.
Might as well. I think that's what we're here for.
That's what
Kira came here for.
Yes,
and the rest of the listeners. But
the rest of the listeners. But this is for you. This is for you.
She paid us to do this.
Yes.
Yeah, my time is worth. Let's see if we do divide $4 by however many hours we're working on.
Fractions of a penny.
Yeah, well, about $1 an hour.
But you too, listener, can also pay us to do stuff.
That's right. Venmo Jared DeLuca.
Just send us money and we'll figure it out from there.
That's right. We'll rent whatever movie you want.
Yep. Okay. All right. So we're doing this, right?
Yeah. We get 10 minutes of opening title card credits.
Jesus Christ.
Studios. So how much can we do in an animation?
Oh my God. Yeah. So we get the Lionsgate one, the hardcore gears crunching takes like 5 minutes to get going. Lionsgate, like, all right. Okay.
This is where the 10 million went.
Yep. Right there. Lionsgate was like, we need a new opening animation. Can you guys make us one? Jesus.
Yep.
And we get Twisted Pictures, which is I did a little homework on them. They're kind of legit. Oh. Yeah, they're a division of another bigger, because it's there's always a bigger fish, right?
Yep.
They've been around for a while though. And then we're in our opening, our first trap, right?
Yep.
Which, by the way, for this episode, we're doing a special segment called "Rate That Trap." I think.
That's right.
That's the best name I could come up with for it. So,
Rate That Trap.
We're gonna call it the Trapper Keeper. I don't know what.
No. Rate this trap or whatever is fine.
Okay.
All right, so we go, rate that trap.
Gotta watch your words there. Yeah, so we got the first trap here. So we're starting off hot, right? We gotta come in. You gotta set the tone. This is called setting the tone.
It's a Saw movie. You
gotta trap up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it actually starts with like just someone just good old fashioned screaming and swearing at someone, right? We don't even see anything yet. I think in the opening, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Right, because this is like we got a shot of some dude like trying to reach for a gun, right? It's like the opening.
It's basically Saw 2, yeah.
Right, isn't it? Yes, it's Saw 2.
It's from Saw 2.
Yeah, it's Donnie. I didn't see Saw 2, but I put that all together.
Donnie.
Yeah, and I was like, at first I was like, wait, is that Donnie? Oh yeah, it is Donnie Wahlberg. There we go. Yeah. Okay.
Which is funny because it's Saw 2, but it's also Saw 1 because they just reused everything.
Reused the same
in the franchise. Yeah.
Makes
like,
millions.
End Saw 2. Make it like the first one. End in the first one.
End of the first one.
Put him in the bathroom. You got that bathroom still?
We still got that bathroom. Just do
Scary
that.
movie does, right?
So this is how Saw 2 ends, is with just him trapped in this thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's too much of a cliffhanger for me.
Oh, is it? I mean, you're like presumably left there to die is like kind of the. It's stupid.
Okay. All right. So he's stretching. He's chained to a thing. It's Saw 1, whatever, Saw 2, and he's reaching for a gun. There's a gun on the ground, whatever. He gets it. He gets the gun with his boot. He takes his boot off, does a little boot thing, right? Classic. It's empty. There's no bullets in that gun, right?
Been there.
And he gets the flashlight. He's changed a pipe, whatever. This is classic Saw move, as we just covered. And of course, there's the handsaw.
Yeah,
like you gotta
love a good hacksaw.
The hacksaw, like get in there.
Bone saw, perhaps.
Might as well. And then we get some other dude in the room who's dead, and
there's another foot over in the other chain from Saw 1.
And then Donnie he's putting things together, and he's like, oh no, oh no, do I want to do this? And I love that he attempts to he's ready to go for it, and he's like, I can't do that. I can't saw off my own leg. But what I can do.
So stupid. I can't saw through my own, which I guess is fair. I guess maybe this would be easier than sawing.
I guess. So what does he grab? He grabs like a concrete, like a piece of.
It's the lid. It's the toilet lid that was in Saw 2 that just smashed the guy in the head with in Saw 2 that he decides to smash his foot off with.
So he smashes his foot instead of cutting it. And it just sounds like
and comes right off nice and easy.
Yeah. But it sounds like smashed celery. It's just like someone but it worked. So yeah. And we got our title card, Saw 3. Is this a first rate the trap? That's a trap, right? Are we gonna rate that one?
Yep. Yeah, I think so.
Right? Okay, so rate that trap.
What are our categories here again?
I think our categories are creativity, difficulty level.
Yeah.
And then oh no's or
why me's
how many why me's or oh no's and then what would we do?
Okay, so on a creativity scale, 1 out of 5 because Simpsons did it like they did it in the first one. You can't repeat the same trap. That's silly.
That's just come on. You're just making fun of the audience. Like you come on, agreed. 1 on that one. With difficulty level?
Also, I'm going to say 1 because bash your foot, whatever. Get a new foot. We have prosthetic feet.
like the only way you die in this one is if you do nothing, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So.
yeah. God betrays you, find a new God.
Oh no's. I'm giving it like a 2 because it's a little bit out of 5. I'm giving it a 2 at least because it's like oh man, I gotta smash my own foot.
Yep, I agree with you.
I don't want to do that. Or I gotta saw it off. I'm like, I don't want to do that either.
Yep, I'll consensus with you on that one.
All right, so now knowing what Donnie Wahlberg did and knowing all this, what would you do in this situation?
I think I would probably just die. I'm like,
I just sit here. Whatever.
Yeah. I think that blood's poison. Maybe I'll like it.
I'm here for a reason. Obviously, I screwed up somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm a cop.
Yeah. I've learned my lesson, Yeah.
And it'll be better off without me. I have life insurance.
Yeah. So okay, all right, that's our first Rate the Trap.
Success.
We got another one coming right, following up pretty quickly here though. So
perfect, good.
All right, so we got a title card, Saw 3, and we cut right to it's actually a classroom. It took me a minute to figure out where we were, right? And we got because
that makes sense, I guess. All the chairs and stuff.
Yeah, and later on you see, it's a classroom.
Well, a classroom in the warehouse.
Yeah,
I guess not because they get hit. The cops are there, so like they would have walked around the corner, right?
I guess I don't
Maybe
know.
not.
I don't know how any of this works, but so the cops come in. So it starts with like the good old fashioned Star Wars here. Stormtroopers cutting through the door here to hop on the old New Hope ship there, and they crank it down. Cops roll in, SWAT team. Then we get the classic, oh my God. Obviously, it's a pretty nasty scene.
Gary, you got to see this.
Come on over here. You got to see this. You're not going to believe this.
Like, don't make her look at this too. Like, why? Not everyone has to look at it.
So Carrie, the lady detective, Carrie, it's Dina Meyer's character. She comes in and they think it's Detective Matthews. They think it's Donnie Wahlberg. And they're like, we're not sure if it is yet, but I don't think it is. I don't know. And then they get some like, so now this is like the first taste of like the way some of these scenes are gonna be shot, which I did not like.
No, it's awful. It's very like pulpy, like
and like it's like
super hokey feeling.
Yeah, like super quick cuts and like with like flashing. It feels like it's like a
photo. You're like, oh,
yeah. Like, but does that through with the I guess I give him one thing. At least he's consistent because he does this for the rest of the movie. But it's like kind of annoying. And then we just get a bunch of quick shots of like basically human remains and looks like ground beef. Generally gross stuff. And she's like, what do we have? And the guy's like, dead body.
It's a corpse. Look at it.
Yeah. What do you think we got? We got someone who's blown up. Like,
oh, it's cotton candy.
and then we get Captain Obvious here, Detective Hoffman, who I guess is going to be a character in later movies, unknowingly so. And he's just like, yeah, the victim was held up by these chains. Like, all right, Captain Obvious, like Detective Obvious, like, who are you? Who are these cops?
Yeah. And then it's like, cue the flashback because that's how this whole movie is told.
The first of 1,000 flashbacks. But then it was funny the way they did this one though. She was like, oh, and it paused on her like thinking and it zoomed in her face.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. And then it was like, what are we going to cop vision right now? Detective vision? Like she's thinking this through how this like played out. Like, what is this?
Actually, I feel like that would make for a way more interesting movie. Like they discover all the victims and they're like, trying to like the movie is told through the cops trying to imagine what actually happened, and then they like actually show you what happened, and it's way stupider.
Way stupider.
That would be funny.
Yeah, that would be good. So we cut to there's a flashback to the actual trap, the classroom trap, right? We'll call it detention trap.
The cop's like, all he had to do was release himself. And the other cop's like, all he had to do. So then we get the dude. This is from the trailer. He's briefly in a trailer. So it's just some dude in his undies chained up in the middle of the classroom. Generally pretty bloody, not looking too good. Got like rings through all of his like body parts, like his like hands and his arms and his sides. One in his jaw. The jaw one's gonna be the one that gets you.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. On the ankles. Oh, the Achilles heel thing.
Ankles.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Who wants that? And then but it does the same thing where he does like the quick cuts of like all the chains and like zoom, like, oh man, he's all chained up. Okay.
And he has a minute, which is silly.
Yeah.
Like they show the timer because of course this is a timer.
Of course. Yeah, and at first I was like, oh wait, he's not gonna get this. There's no way. And I always thought Jigsaw. I think that something was fishy because Jigsaw he gives you a way out. He gives you a way.
Put the movie together immediately.
Yeah, I know.
Like, that's the whole plot. Yep, all right, guess we're done here.
Right. I was like immediately. I was like, this isn't Jigsaw. He doesn't do this.
This isn't fair.
Yeah. I only get a minute. Like, no, something's not right here. So then we get Billy the Muppet there. He shows up on the little TV.
And you get the old classic Saw video, right?
Yeah.
I want to play a game. It's never... That's the thing that's funny to you is...
Because in the trailer...
in the trailer, but also they do a lot of... I think maybe in the first one they do like, do you want to play a game? I don't think he really ever asks. He usually just says, I want to play a game. You're playing the game now.
So he comes on and he basically explains the rules of the game, which you can't win.
Right.
So it's, you know, not that complicated, but it's basically, yeah, I don't know, choose to free yourself to shut off the bomb or something. That's it.
Yeah, you have to free yourself and walk out of the room. That was the thing, and that's when
Right.
they put the whole plot together in a minute too.
Because they were like, wait, the door was sealed with this thing.
The door is welded shut. There was no way out after all.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, it was a lose-lose game here. You know,
this is, I guess, part of the unrated version for some reason, where they have an aside about Eric. No, Eric's probably not dead. He's a missing persons case, not a homicide. Yeah, I'm sure he's definitely fine.
Yeah. Like, what?
Yeah, it's stupid. And they do a bunch of exposition about, they're like, last time we saw Jigsaw, he was on his deathbed. He probably couldn't have done this, not following his usual patterns.
It's like, okay. If anyone here has seen, anyone coming to see Saw 3, this isn't their first time. This isn't their first rodeo. Right. Like, you don't need to go through all this.
Yeah. I've seen the Saws, okay?
Yeah, we know how it works. Mm-hmm. All right, so this is a lose-lose game. It's kind of like pitching a no-hitter when your team's in last place. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. See what I did there? Love of the game, baby. So yeah, all you do is release himself, whatever. So then we cut
the tape out clean, right?
Yeah, well, they cut back and forth, right, between present time and like the cops kind of piece things together, and then like in the.
Oh yeah, I just kind of glossed over all that.
Okay, sorry, that's okay. But I mean, we need to get into like the guy in the past. He's like figuring out what to do, right? And
yeah.
And
I just skipped over. He dies, obviously.
He dies, yeah. I guess we can skip over that one because, like, yeah, he definitely is like pulling out all the easy ones, and then you're like, dude, when you get to the mouth, you ain't doing.
We should do a rate that trap though.
We definitely need to do a rate that trap. I think it's time. So he does not make it. He goes kablooey. It's a lose game, as we've discussed. So rate that trap. Creativity 2. I agree.
You're blowing him up.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, like, definitely.
Oh, you've creatively chained him up, I guess. But being chained up was also the first one.
Now, difficulty level, I'm going high on this one. Out of 5, I'm going like 4 or almost 5 because
the jaw.
The jaw. That's not happening.
What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, you can't do it. Its difficulty level is like a 5.
You didn't see it, but it was like under his chin and like probably like under his tongue, like over like, behind his teeth there. Like that's not a trap you get out of.
No, you're done.
Yeah.
You're buckwheats. So yeah, that's not happening. And then on top of that, the door is sealed, so you can't. It's difficulty level 3. It's not beatable.
Yep. Agreed. Oh no's.
Oh man.
Probably like. This is probably pretty high on the oh no because of the jaw thing. You're like
the jaw, I can't do this. I'm giving at least a 3 or 4. I'm on the oh no's. Absolutely. What would you do in this one?
I think I would go grab the bomb and put it right next to my head.
Yeah.
Like, how do I assure this as fast as possible?
Yeah. So he couldn't be. Could he reach the bomb? But he had to pull the things out first, and then he could get to it, right? Or could he?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, he already pulled a bunch out. So I guess you're right. Maybe I wouldn't even bother. I'd sit in the chair and be like, oh.
I feel like all these are ending with us being like, I just sit there and die.
Wouldn't bother.
Yeah, there's no reason that, like, if I'm in a situation, like, I probably deserve this.
Ow.
Yeah, there's no way. Because I'm not pulling that one out of my mouth. I'm like, no, not happening.
And also, like, this one, they didn't really explain. The rest of the movie is very heavy-handed about explaining why everyone else gets what's coming to them, kind of thing. But this guy, they were just like, you were a rich kid, and then you ended up going to jail a bunch. You know, like,
yeah.
Did he hurt anyone? He was like, oh, that guy got caught shoplifting 10 times.
Yeah. Again, there's no lesson to be learned here. So definitely not Jigsaw.
Yeah.
So something's amiss here. So yeah, something's amiss here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun. So yeah, he's done. We cut back to the present detectives taking a look through things. We get the Detective Hoffman being kind of shady. I call him Detective Obvious because he's like, oh yeah, you could just get to the chains. And he's taking a little parting prize. He takes one of the rings that was left in the crime scene and puts it in his pocket. And I was like, oh, I wonder if that's gonna come back later. In Saw 4, like. Mm-hmm. All these characters don't matter after this, like, except for Carrie, but she doesn't even matter.
And not even really. Only for another 5 minutes.
Yeah. And then we got Riggs. He's telling her, like, he's like, hey, it's not your fault, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, all the missing person stuff. So, and then we get the clue of, like, oh, how'd they how'd they get in here? And he's like, oh, we had to cut through the wall, whatever.
Yep. It was welded shut.
No, that's weird. Something's off here, right? And then they're like, wait, we found the tape.
Which usually don't. Usually don't. They are like it. They have like self-destruct kind of things. Like it's very Inspector Gadgety.
Very Mission Impossible. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. So then we're cut to
bathtub.
Yes, we're in Carrie's apartment. She's taking a bath, whatever. She's having some flashbacks of Donnie Wahlberg there in the mirror, having nightmares, not doing too hot. Then she's doing her research because she's, a detective. She's late night, burning the midnight oil, doing some research, investigative stuff. She's watching the video. Billy the Muppet's on there. He's talking. And then I kind of didn't quite get this, but then like the video switches to like a camera view from inside her own apartment.
Yeah.
I don't know how the technology that would work, but
it doesn't. Yeah,
so she's like, wait a second.
Some static, and she's like, wait, what? Enhance. Is that me?
Yeah. And she's like, oh, that's weird. And she's like, wave, and she sees her wave, and it's just a camera inside the closet. So she goes to check it out, and
well, before she goes to check it out, she shoots the closet 4 times.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is a very cop move.
Yeah.
Just
shoot first, ask questions later.
That's right.
That closet had a gun.
Yeah. Don't ask for permission, just ask for forgiveness. What's the line, right?
That's right. The closet had a toy gun.
So the closet is dead as hell.
Yep.
And she goes in, and it's just a camera in there, and she's like, what the? And then all of a sudden we get, there's someone behind her in a pig mask. Oink, oink. Yep. And she's kidnapped. Mm-hmm. And that brings us to...
We all know who Pig Mask is.
We all know who that is. Which brings us to our next trap. 3 traps really quickly here. I think we're going to call this one the acid trap.
Acid McRib?
Yeah. Yeah, the acid McRib. Yes. Yeah, the McRib. So she's again...
Well, we get our Billy video, and he's like, you're dead on the inside. How does that qualify me for a saw trap? Like, what did I do? Like, you're just obsessed with crimes, and you're like, she's a detective.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't she be obsessed with crimes? And he's like, you have a minute to get the key in front of you, but the acid is also going to dissolve the key in a few seconds. And you're like, wait, then
what?
How many minutes do I have?
How much time here? What is going on here? What is?
It's so silly.
So she's hung up by chains in the middle of the room, and she's got the McRib sandwich thing around her chest, and then the acid thing with the keys right by her head. It's like right here.
Yeah, it's a corset that you do not want to be wearing.
No. This is not one. This is not one you really want. So she kind of struggles or whatever, and then she makes a decision. She's like, I guess I'm going for the key.
Yeah. Yep. So she dunks her hand in the acid a bunch and takes it out a bunch, and she's like, "Oh, ow!"
Yeah, it's not what you want.
Until she does get the key, and then nothing happens. Obviously, she can't get the things out of her ribs. Like, that's so stupid. Like, what did she think was going to happen?
So she did the key thing because it was around her neck or something, but then.
No, it was like the top of the ribs thing that she unlocked.
Okay, yeah.
I think it was like unlocked, but it's like, how do you pull that out of you?
Yeah, I don't know that made any sense. So, so she's like struggling with this thing, and then someone walks into the room. You don't see their face, but you see that they're wearing red of some sort, and she's like, "Oh, you." And then she weirdly like spreads her arms up, and then the thing just pop, and we got open rib cage and inside.
Pulls her ribs out, organs fall out. This is one that was different in the unrated cut too from the theatrical cut. They don't. Okay. I think they do like a shot from behind and they do the cracking sound, but they don't like
show the front.
They don't show all her organs falling out.
Yeah. And then and it's again more quick zoomy cut. Yeah,
Which actually, speaking of punishments for things that are just kind of silly. Got a torture fact for you.
Ooh, I love that. Hit me.
Yeah. Dropping some torture facts here and there.
I like it.
So have you ever heard of the drunkard's cloak?
I have not. I think I was at last night though. I think I was wearing it last night, maybe.
That's why I brought it up.
Yes.
So apparently in 17th century England, habitual drunkards, Russell.
Oh, they're gonna say British people.
British people. Were sometimes punished by being made to wear a barrel with holes cut out for the head and arms. And then they just like paraded you through the streets. And they were like, look at that, you drunk idiot.
I was definitely wearing that last night.
How is this torture? Like, I don't like it. How is this a punishment? I guess so. It's like, I'm still wearing a barrel. Like, it's not naked. Like,
I can still go to the bar and drink, right?
Right. Yeah. So you probably, I guess that's the punishment. Can I get my arm around enough to get to my mouth?
That's why they invented straws, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. So pretty fun.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So we should do a rate my trap for this one, right?
Yeah, it's dead because then after this she's done, so she's dead. So creativity,
dead as hell.
I'm gonna go a little higher on this one.
I think you're right. I think like a 3 or a 4, maybe you're right in the middle, 3.5.
Yeah, I'd say a 3. Because the McRib, right? The acid.
It's kind of fun.
It's kind of
like
fun.
The acid. Why would you put the acid in there?
I know, right? Like, come on, that's,
wild card.
Difficulty level again, pretty high because
it's another 5.
Yeah, you can't.
There's no way up.
Yeah, there's no way.
Designed to not be successful.
Oh no's, oh my's, oh my's, oh no's.
I think this is pretty high on the
so too.
Why me scale, right?
Yeah.
Like I think once you realize what's going to happen to you, it's really feels bad.
Yeah, it's pretty ruthless. Pretty ruthless.
And I bet you probably live for like a few minutes.
Yeah,
like you probably go into shock immediately, but also like
once the thing pops and you're like your ribs are open, you're like, oh no.
Like, I guess there's probably some catastrophic blood loss, but like it's not brain destruction. So you're like, you're probably hanging out there for a minute looking at your organs on the floor. And like, oh man. Not again.
Not again. Why me?
Yeah. So 5 out of 5. Why me?
Yeah, I agree on that one. What would you do?
What would I do? I think I would pour the acid in my mouth.
Yeah, just drink it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was thinking. Just
right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not putting my hand in there. Like I like my hands.
I'm not getting out of this. I know that.
No. Again, you're hanging up there like, well, now what? What do I do? How does this work? So
yeah. Like open my eyes and like just like dump the acid in my head. Even I don't know.
Yeah, or something. You know. Yeah.
Destroy the brain because I don't want my ribs to get pulled apart and then look at my organs on the floor.
Yeah, or you could she have poured the acid on the trap and like burned through it so she could take it out maybe?
No, not without getting it all over her flesh also. Like the ribs, like the listeners, the ribs thing is basically like a bear trap, like a reverse bear trap, but it was like dug into her flesh. Like
that's
you can't get out of that.
No, you're done. You're done.
Silly.
Yeah, I just find the quickest way to die, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so now we're in someone's apartment. We're in Lynn's apartment here. And this is to throw you off the scent here of what's going on. I hate this.
Well, is it to throw you off the scent or is it to tell you exactly what's going to happen, I feel like?
So she's in the room and clearly she's with some guy, Chris, and she's sitting there and they look like
I thought that was Jeff. Face blindness strikes again.
Oh no, definitely not.
I was like, oh, now I know it's Jeff, obviously.
No, it wasn't Jeff. It was some other guy, and it was like so. They looked like they were a couple like having an argument or something like that, right? And she was getting him. She's like, I have to go to work. And he's like, oh, you got to go to work again? And she's like, I'm a doctor. This is what I work off time and stuff like this. And it seems like things aren't going really well. And as she's like about to leave, he's like, I want a divorce. And then
that's what I was like. So I was like, it must be Jeff.
Well, later on, you find out she was cheating. They were cheating.
Right.
And he was talking about he wants to get a divorce from his wife so they could probably be together. That's what,
Oh, I didn't even put that together until you just said it.
Yeah, it's stupid because it was like trying to throw you off the path to think like, oh, this is her husband, right? So then the entire movie you don't put together that Jeff's her husband, but then like,
oh my god, like the entire movie you don't put it together until 10 minutes from now.
You're like, come on, we know these twists, come on. Yeah. So that was that, and then we cut to the hospital where she's working. We got some people coming in, some injured people, ER stuff going on. And
it's like, I forgot that it's filmed this way. Like, it's so hard to watch. Like, just like the weird quick cut photograph things again. Like, you do like the stills and they're like, okay, zoom in, still. And you're like, stop it.
Yeah, just hold the camera steady for like 2 seconds, would you? 2006 though, right? Yeah, I guess that's
2006.
2006. So then she comes in, Lynn comes in, and like some other nurse goes and gets her or whatever. And she comes in, she's cool, calm, collected. She's just like, I got this. Well,
they're like, oh my God, this boy's in serious condition. We got to crack open his chest and do major surgery. And she's like, no. Instead, she like sticks him with a scalpel on the side. And she's like, look, now he's fine.
Yeah. Monday morning quarterback coming in here,
Yeah.
And saves the kid, whatever. And she seems she's a little disconnected from work and life, it seems. She's taking some drugs, doing some drugs, some pills there, some big pharma stuff. Yep. Big pharma.
And her nurse friend there is like, hey, We don't have seconds to spare here. You should have been there. And she's like, okay.
Okay. All right.
And then is this a flashback inside a flashback? Like, I'm confused about what happens next. Because they do the taking pills thing in the locker room. Like, after the nurse yells at her, then, like, I don't know. I think it's not a flashback.
I think it's just a jump. I think it's just a jump cut to her ending her shift and like the kidnapping. So,
see, I can't tell the way you filmed it, Darren.
Yeah.
Why'd you do it like this?
Why'd you do it?
You're fucking me up. Yeah.
So then, so she's locked inside the locker room, and she does the old "anybody here?" Classic, horror movie line. We're at flip phone time, 2006, because as we know, 2007 was when I think the.
Yeah, I just watched the BlackBerry movie. Speaking of iPhone, have you seen it yet? It's on Amazon. It's on one of the things now that I could watch for free. Hulu. Well, it was on Hulu.
Hulu. I was gonna say Hulu. That sounds like a Hulu thing.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good, dude. Glenn Howerton, amazing in it. Jay Baruchel, weirdly good in it.
Glenn. Oh yeah. Okay. Jay Baruchel. Right? Oh, he plays the Mr. Blackberry.
Yeah. Mr. Blackberry and Glenn Howerton plays Mr. Blackberry, CEO, the angry version. Yeah.
Okay.
They're co-CEOs. It's a whole thing. You got to watch it.
All right, I'll check it out. So we have flip phone era, and she's trying to make call, nothing's happening, and then she gets kidnapped by a pig face hostage person.
Yep.
Kidnapper. Yeah, Piyush. As we've set the pace for like the last 2 or 3 here.
And then now we get a quick cut to the murder lab.
Yeah, or the torture warehouse, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Toronto. Am I right? So we get someone coming back, and we get shots of all the tools, and shot from the trailer, mannequin warehouse, pig masks and stuff. We're basically Batman, the Batcave right now, right?
Yep, that's right.
We got Lynn.
She's in a wheelchair.
She's tied up to a wheelchair, straight from the trailer. We get a reveal of our mysterious lady in red here in really oddly decided slow mo. It felt very 2006.
Yeah. Yes. A lot of choices.
A lot of choices.
A lot of choices.
Yeah. Is this a game he was playing?
Yeah. Try again.
And Amanda's she's just seems kind of cool and in control. She's whatever. I'm whatever.
Well, but if by cool and in control you mean wicked, annoying, and stupid, then yes.
Yeah. This character
poorly written.
This character I'm going to throw out there is really annoying. So
yes.
Apparently,
she's annoying in the last one. She's annoying in all of them.
Yeah, she's kind of an annoying character, but she keeps coming back because
it's a Saw movie.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. So, and then she wheels Lynn into like a little mini care room hospital or something like that, and there's our boy.
The big reveal.
Yeah, Jiggy. He's hanging out.
Jigsaw himself.
Yeah, he's not doing too good. He looks like E.T. on his deathbed.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, pretty funny.
Yeah,
and he does so much, like, the way they write the lines for Tobin Bell, I really, really don't understand. Like, why make the script like this? Like, yeah, just like so many weird turns of phrases and things, even that are just like, I don't know, like the way that he goes about describing everything is just stupid. He's like,
yeah,
I was a guest at your hospital once. Remember me?
And she's like, I think I saw you on TV. Aren't you that murderer guy?
My prognosis isn't good, but you can probably see that from my chart. And she's like,
I don't know. Like,
wait, what?
Yeah, I guess.
Sure.
I'm not your doctor. Like, I don't know anything about you.
Some insight that he's got the tumor, which I maybe probably knew this from the second movie. I didn't know because I didn't see it, but
yeah. It's a whole thing.
He's recapping us. So he's got a tumor. It's not the tumor.
Brain tumor.
Yeah, classic brain tumor. And he's like, he gets all fired. He's like, look at me. He gets all fired. He's like, hey, how long do I got, doc? And she's like, I don't know.
I haven't done any tests. I don't know anything.
I literally you kidnapped me and wheeled me in this room just like 2 seconds ago. Yeah.
And that's when he's like, I don't have long left. Death's a surprise party, unless of course you're already dead on the inside. And you're like,
what does that mean? What is that? It's a surprise party unless you're already dead on the inside. Like, that sentence doesn't make any sense.
That's like naming your song "Forget to Remember."
Right.
Sounds cool, but it makes no sense.
Maddening.
So what's the line? Is it between him and Amanda where he says, "What do you want?" and he's like, "I want to play a game." Doesn't he say that?
Well, yeah, exactly. So he does talk a little bit first about Dr. Lynn here, and he's like, you neglected your husband and your child. You don't even deserve to be a mom, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole thing. And then he's like, I want to play a game. And like, he's like, Amanda's right there, right next to him.
Yeah. And he says, let's start her a game, right? And I was like,
yeah.
does it gotta be for her, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because he only says it's the people that who are going to be his like victims of his game, right?
yeah.
Again,
But
it's like it's kind of a sidestep because like, oh, he's doing this to Lynn.
because meanwhile Amanda is putting a spooky shotgun collar on Lynn and is like kind of explaining her game too of like,
Right.
okay, yeah, it's linked to his heart monitor, and so like your lives will end simultaneously because when he dies, you die. Got to keep him alive.
And then she goes over and she grabs a key off the wall, which and puts around her neck, which I think is probably for the trap. I assume.
I would assume, yeah.
Doesn't really come back later. So.
Yep. And then they get the kind of premise here of like, out there's a man. He's going to face a series of tests. You have to keep John alive until he finishes all the tests.
Why is this so complicated? But
yeah,
just
so
just put the collar on her neck and be like, just save his life.
Just kill them all. Be a good villain.
So then Amanda, she cracks all the triggers on the shotgun shell collar there. Is this a rate the trap? I think, or do we have to do it at the end?
I think we should wait till the trap is complete.
Okay.
But I'll give you a torture fact instead if you want.
Yeah, I'd love one.
So did you know in ancient China,
probably not,
tickling was used as a method of torture because
what was
it didn't tickling.
Okay, just wanted to check.
Actual tickle torture was like a real thing.
Okay. I mean,
and it was especially used on the rich upper class people because it didn't leave any marks. So it was like on nobility and stuff because it wouldn't disfigure them like other kinds of torture were.
Oh, okay.
But you can get pretty distressing, right? Yeah. Peeing yourself.
I feel like the tickle torture is like you're either into it or you're not. And if you're not into it, then it's torture, right?
Right. Like when's the last time you got tickled too much? Like it was bad.
Any tickling is too much. Don't do it.
Point.
Don't do it.
Unless you're into that.
Is that a safety tip? I think that might be right somewhere.
About tickling?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Don't do too much of it unless you're into it. I think that's what it was. It's pretty. It's probably it's way down there though. It's like 180 something.
I think it's like yeah. I see it now. Yep. Just thumbing through the books, listener. You can't really see it.
It's a big book.
It was 189 actually.
Right.
Yeah. Don't do it
too much
unless you're into it.
Yeah. I mean,
don't do it too much
unless you're into it. In regarding tickling.
That's right.
But it applies to everything, really. But
yeah. That's right. No, you're right. It specifically says regarding tickling.
Regarding tickling. That's what I thought. Okay, all right. It's a big book, so. So then we cut to dude in a box, right?
Yep.
Just man in a box here, and in a warehouse hanging up. And this is our boy, our civilian Jeff.
Our boy Jeff. Our unlucky citizen.
Yes, Robert the Bruce himself.
That's right.
Our first set of rules via recording message, which this will come back at the end too, the recorders. So he explains the rules. You're a shell of a man. We get a bunch more flashback cuts, like quick
why
cuts.
Why are you being mean to me? You put me in a box and now you're going to insult me?
Yeah, right? That's the worst. Like that's a true trap right there. And then we get
it all out.
Yeah, we get all the exposition about like how he's shell of a man because his kid died from a drunk driver or something or whatever. Some driver.
Well, it's consumed with vengeance against the drunk driver who killed your son that got freed after a hasty trial. And you're like, oh, wow. Right, well, now I bet it's going to be. I can picture the three people it's going to be.
This is one line of exposition that says so much,
and yet they do more.
And they do because they do more. And he explains the rules. You got to get through a bunch of tests, and then you'll come face to face with the man that killed your son.
And can you forgive him? It's like the big question here. Like, are you
lesson.
ready?
This is the lesson he needs to learn, right? Can you let go and forgive this person and move on with your life?
Yep.
You still have a daughter you need to take care of.
That's right.
And a wife. But I'm not going to say that yet.
That's right.
So then, he breaks out of the crate because we do have like quick flashes of his son and stuff like that in here. But then he breaks out of the crate, falls, and lands pretty hard. And then we get a flashback to Jeff in his house doing his best taxi driver imitation with a gun.
Just pointing a gun at no one, like practicing avenging his son.
Yeah, like
while he like chugs a glass of whiskey.
It's like
if I had a nickel.
I think there's one thing about vengeance: you don't practice it; you just go do it, right?
You just do it.
You just do it.
Don't do it.
Oh, don't do it. But if you're gonna do it, just
if you're
do
in
it.
a movie.
In your movie,
just do it.
Yeah. So then he's
Love his bathrobe though. Classic dad bathrobe.
yeah, bathrobe for the entire time. And then he's like so he's got a daughter too. And I was like, wait, so he's got two kids, and he's just a total dick to his daughter because she's like goes to grab a stuffed animal. Yeah, because she grabs a stuffed animal. Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah. It's like settle down, guy. So
like, don't touch things in Dylan's room is the premise here.
That's the only time I think you hear Dylan's name.
She's like, I just wanted a stuffed animal and I'm sad now.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you got a daughter here. She misses her brother too. Why don't you show a little empathy here? How about you be a dad and step up your game here? Mm-hmm. Jerk. You know what? He does deserve to go through these tests. So
yeah, for sure. Except for he barely has any consequences other than like, his family dying.
Yeah. And his daughter being kidnapped.
Sure. But like,
really, what is it?
Yeah, not that much injury to him. He's like, I gotta step in the maggots.
Gets put some of his skin peeled off from pulling a Christmas Story move.
Dumb.
It's cold. You put your skin against the metal bar. What do you think's gonna happen, you dummy? Duh. Double dog dare you. And then so daughter comes into the room to apologize, and then she leaves, and he gets up and we get a quick cut of the gun on the bed. Daddy. And then but we have Pigface takes him hostage.
Yep. And that's when you also like the daughter definitely witnesses this. So like it's logical to assume that she gets kidnapped, I think, at this point, because she's like, Daddy.
Yeah.
When the pig mask lady picks her up.
Everything's laid out for you. You just watch the movie, it's all laid out for you. So
exactly. They shot it chronologically.
So then he busts out. Then we cut back to the warehouse. He busts out
trash like the pile.
Yep. And he's just like, hello, anyone here? He's kind of a mess.
Oh man, I got box on my bathrobe.
And then he finds our first note of the game here, and just open the door, Jeff. So, and another key, of course. Right. And I love how
something.
Basically, this movie is a giant escape room. That's pretty much what this is, right? That's pretty much it. Exactly. Did we do one of those together? I think we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Way back in the day.
Back in the day, downtown.
Yeah.
Yep. Team building. Good team building.
Yeah, good team building. By the way, he's got to go through all these doors to the next series of tests. And I love how he's always surprised that the door closes and locks behind him.
Classic.
After the first time, I'd be like, okay, that's something I should probably pay attention to.
Right. One would think. Nope. Just going to keep doing it, pretending it's not happening.
and being surprised. Oh, man, the door's locked.
Oh, not again.
Not again. Oh.
Yep. And then we cut back to the lab, right? With Amanda. She's checking out the cameras and like watching everything Jeff's doing. And then we cut back over to Lynn, and she's trying to treat John, kind of.
She's like, I can't do this. Like, I need a hospital. I need tools here. Amanda comes in. She's like, she lets Jigsaw know, like, hey, Jeff's out of the box.
It's begun.
The game is afoot. You see what I did there? It's kind of
pretty good.
It's a little throwback for anyways. So
clever
then,
girl.
Clever girl. And I love how then she's like, and Lynn's like, I can't do this, whatever. And like I love how this back and forth was so funny.
It's very funny. But she's like, he needs an operation to decompress his brain, and you're like, why would you phrase it like that?
Like so. Then,
sorry. But she's like, he's like, he needs steroids. And she's like, oh, he needs steroids? You don't think I fucking know he needs steroids?
And then I love how Amanda, she's like, hey, and then she like comes out, she's like, hey, come here. And she's like, I don't want her. He's like, no, come on, come a little closer. And she just grabs her and yells at him like,
he chose you. Yeah. He chose you. And like, meanwhile, John's like, whoa. Amanda, settle down. She can't do her job if you're threatening her all the time.
Yeah. We get the C word dropped in here too. I'm not even going to say it. But
that's right.
We had a stupid C word. Yeah, I'm not dropping that one. No way.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know our demographic audience.
That's right. And then John like starts having a seizure, right? Like he pukes. He just like sits up and he's like
spits out some pea soup and he's like
it's very funny.
Yeah. Amanda's zoned out
seizing,
and then the EKG thing that's going off the charts here ain't looking good, and Lynn's trying to take care of things, and Amanda's like completely useless, and she's just like
Lynn's like, do you have any medicine at all? And she's like, no, of course we don't have medicine.
Damn
so
it,
dumb.
Jim. Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not a pool man.
And then he just like comes back from a seizure and he's like, blah, 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 like it's like blood, like leaking out of his
puking up
mouth.
blood or
Like,
whatever. And, Lynn pulls a miracle, keeps him stable. Amanda's crying. Amanda is slowly deteriorating. She's losing her brain throughout this whole thing.
Quickly deteriorating,
and then Lynn is like, okay, you see what's happening here? Like hospital.
Yeah, he needs surgery.
Yes. And then she's like, can't happen. We'll do it here. And Lynn's like, all right, here's my laundry list. I need anesthetic and a power drill.
Just like the boys when they're watching Saw 3. If only I could go back a couple hours and get some anesthetic and a power drill. Yeah, I'd be having a better time.
You know what else we need, though, is anesthetic and a power drill to relieve the pressure of this episode.
Very good.
Yeah, I was trying to have that as a stretch, but
stretch.
Yeah, but whatever. It's a Saw 3 movie. Come on. A lot of things stretch in this movie.
Touching your toes over there.
Yeah, all right, let's go.
Ooh.
So that's it for part 1. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with we'll be back on Thursday. Sorry.
Oh yeah. I messed up probably updating the outro or something.
Yeah, you did. That's okay.
Yeah, you'll learn better next time.
We'll be back on Thursday with part 2. In the meantime, you follow us on Instagram. It's This Meets That. We subscribe to us wherever you're listening to podcasts. Set us to auto download. I guess that's a thing. I didn't know it was a thing.
It's a thing. Yeah, I have it set to auto download because it helps our download numbers. I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, whoops.
Oh my God.
Been in the business for 3 years. You know how many things I got to do for this operation to work?
You just turn on auto download. It's nothing to do.
Oh, right.
Oh, isn't that right, listeners? It's nothing to do. So you can too.
You can too. So get it done. And if you like this, if you enjoyed this amazing witty banter, winter banter.
That's right. Winter soldier banter.
That's right. You should tell a friend.
Or leave us a review if you want to tell strangers how good we are. Tell us we're good. Tell them we're good. Or tell us we're good in a long email, perhaps, and we'll read it. Kira sent one. That's why we're doing this movie now. You also can do that. It's thisbeatsthat@gmail.com. Or go to the website. You're tired of listening to me talk about how much I want you to go to the website. So you're like, whatever. I'll just do it. I'll just do it. I give up. I'll type in it's thismeetsthat.com and I'll go, maybe I'll buy a t-shirt. I don't know. I'll read about Russ's book Host and I'll go buy that wherever they sell books.
Do it. Right?
Whatever. Just get you off my back is what I imagine you saying. So do it. It's thismeetsthat.com.